Call the cops on me. On a mission to be champs since they let me free. Prepare for combat, my adversaries crumble. Face it, I got a reputation for damage. Busters get ready to rumble. They lock me in a cell, have me trapped in a living hell. Though not guilty, I'm still in jail. Brother, I serve my time like a soldier. Maintain composure. My shadow boxing the fight to the death, busting boulders. Every boxer with a pair of gloves. Best give up love. Here's a man from the makings of a thug. A lethal weapon, mind sharp. And in my heart, there's a wish to shake the world with the flurry of my black fist. Now once a high school dropout, now I'm the $1 million champ. Who's the next to get knocked out? Straight out of...
What's going on, everybody? Another episode of Cheap Seats Box Show. Angelo here with my boy JP. JP, what's up, man?
It's about to go down.
You're going to hear stuff in the background. We're outside again. That's what we do. Sometimes you got to do it on the go. That's how it goes for us sometimes. First things first, follow us on Twitter at Cheap Seats Box, iTunes, rate, review. You can be the next unofficial sponsor. It helps us keep more visible, keeps us up at number 4 when people search boxing. So can you guys do that? We'd appreciate that. You can check out the Patreon page if you guys want to donate. Patreon.com/cheapseatsboxing. $1, $2 a month. It don't matter. Whatever you guys would be willing to donate would be much appreciated. You can email us, cheapseatsboxing@gmail.com. Questions, comments, we always get back to you.
Subscribe to the YouTube page.
Yeah, the YouTube page that has our show, our audio show, because we have faces for TV, but we don't want to put everybody else to shame. You know how it is, man.
Hey, you know.
Hollywood good looks.
I ain't gonna say how I'm an ugly veteran. Shit.
Check them all out. Check us out everywhere. We're on every fucking platform, I think, imaginable. Except I'm sure there's a couple out there that we're not, but all the major ones were out there.
The ones that ain't came out yet, we'll be there.
Yeah, exactly. And
Zoom, though, we still on there.
Still on there. Somebody somewhere has got a Zoom player that they fucking bootleg to still work, and we're on there. This last weekend, man, it was all about the beautiful boxing of Deontay Wilder getting a 5th round stoppage over Gerald Washington. And maybe I was wrong. Maybe he isn't better than Gerald Washington. He just has more power than Gerald Washington.
Yeah.
It was ugly. What'd you think, JP, man?
I think, you're right. He got more power. His power is the great equalizer. But he does open himself up to... If somebody could just stay in the pocket and be a counterpuncher, it'll cause him problems. But staying in the pocket... The odd thing about his big, long, lanky ass is when he in tight quarters, he actually can shorten up those punches nice. But when you step away from him, he will swing like Mark McGuire with not seeing a pitch. He just, fuck it. But... He beat his ass. I mean, it's just ugly. It was, you say ring rust. It was ugly, but, But does anybody want to stand in the way of the flurry and get hit by him? No, not really. But I got a theory about Deontay Wilder. If he knows he has to box you, he will sharpen up his game. But if he knows he can just beat you up, he will just come in there caveman swinging. Just what I perceive of him.
And all it's going to take is him to pick the wrong guy to think he can just knock out. Because I'll get to the fight in a second. You hear that theory all the time. If somebody could jab and stay on the outside, he's going to be in trouble. I think there's another kind of fighter that would give him fucking fits. I pull a fighter out from the 90s who I'm pretty sure never won any piece of any heavyweight title, was really a gatekeeper, that I would tell you right now, I would favor heavily against a guy like Deontay Wilder, Ray Mercer. Because Ray Mercer had the whiskers. You couldn't knock him out. You could beat the shit out of him, but you couldn't knock him out. A guy like that would give Wilder fits, because if he can't knock you out, and that's what he's coming to do, he only has one game plan. Whether it was the one time he boxed against Thurman, or it's just I'm going to throw windmill punches and knock you out. That's his game plans. If you block either one of those, he's done.
What is the heavyweight that lost to Parker?
Andy Ruiz.
Hell of a counterpuncher.
And a chin.
He would give him a problem. Because Ruiz's size alone will force him to have to get closer to Wilder. So he would have to live off of his counterpunching, which that will give Wilder a problem. You know, because and Ruiz does have a chin. Now, Wilder got some ungodly power,
He
though.
does.
You know, but if he could just, you ain't gotta stay in there forever, but stay in there long enough to counterpunch him a couple of times and make him think about swinging for you. You know, but everybody else, honestly, everybody else in the heavyweight division is fair game because there are no real boxers or counterpunchers in the heavyweight division. You know, there are no Riddick Bowes, there are no Larry Holmes, there are no those type of fighters. You know, there are no tactical fighters like Evander Holyfield, who people think wasn't tactical, but he was tactical.
He was. He used the head very well. Steroids very strategically.
Yeah, that's a tactic.
Do you think Larry Holmes was sitting ringside thinking, man, you know what? I might be able to get in shape and just pepper this guy with a jab for about 8 rounds, man.
That's a lot of shape to get into.
I know, but you know, a guy like Larry Holmes looks at him and goes, man, this is fucking bullshit, man. I would eat this motherfucker up in my prime. Like not even like it's laughable how the difference in
But
Larry Holmes is honestly one of my favorite heavyweights of all time. I'm a sucker for a great jab.
But I will say this, and I try to keep this thought in mind when it comes to good fighters or good people or great people. I can't really shit on Deontay that much because for all the other fighters, he's the champ. So obviously you ain't good enough to beat him with all of his flaws.
Well,
so that says a lot.
Let's be honest though, he has only had to have one fight that was that people thought he might actually lose, and
that's true.
And this next fight, guess who he's scheduled to fight? The WBC is mandating he fights Thurman. So again, he's not going to have any competition again because Thurman is fucking fat as shit.
They talking about him and Parker though.
Yeah, but WBC is mandating that fight.
WBC don't never follow their word.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think he wants Joseph Parker. I'd almost pick Joseph Parker to beat him, man.
That's why it'd be interesting. It's a unification.
And that's
fight.
why I don't think he would do it.
Because, I don't think Joseph Parker can handle the power.
And I don't think, well, and you know one thing about Kiwis, they got that Samoan blood. They seem to take good punches, man.
Look.
David
look. You can only name one Samoan.
David Tua.
Okay.
Yeah, look.
The best Samoans was what? Let me see.
They're in the NFL. They're usually linebackers. Safety.
Okay, I can think of 3 now. We got Tua, Palomalu, Ray Malaluga.
Malaluga.
Oh shit, Haloti Nada. That's 4. And the Rockets half and half. It depends on which day you're talking to him.
But that's why I don't think they go after Parker because the money's not there. The money's in the Anthony Joshua fight.
Yeah.
So they're going to keep him away from. I think they're going to keep him away from Parker, from Joseph Parker. And after this fight with Stavern, the rematch, don't be surprised if he'll get another. He'll get another freebie, and then there'll be the Dominic Brazil fight, and we all know what happened in the aftermath. But let's look at the fight. All right. Wilder loses at least 3 of the first 4 rounds. Probably 4 of the first 4 rounds before he knocks him out. But the fix was in because it was he was tied on 2 cards and ahead on 1 card going into the 5th round. So the fix was already in. He wasn't losing this fucking fight, no matter what.
He saved the judges. He saved the boxing community because if it wasn't a knockout, then people would be looking at him like, really? No, B.
One judge had him up 3-1.
I mean, well, you know what? I see. Here's the thing. That judge is a longtime Alabama Crimson Tide fan, and they was drinking and saying "Roll Tide" the night before, and he just couldn't.
I think it's deeper than that. I think that judge who had him up 3-1 actually went to UCLA and hated Washington because he played for USC.
See, I was about to get into the fact that, I was about to get into it. I was about to get to, his USC, Auburn, and Alabama just not really, not friendly to those people.
They're going to have no former Auburn alum.
War Eagle, fuck you!
But he looked lost, man. I mean, Washington has never been a guy who's ever impressed. Like, oh, he's got skill. Like,
Right.
nobody said, hey, this is a skillful fighter. Everybody's like, you can tell he's a football player. You can tell he's late to the game. His technique is sloppy. He just doesn't have the conditioning for it. But it's like, those first 4 rounds, he was in complete control of that fight. Like, and the hesitation that I said I think that Wilder would come out with was there. He didn't he threw the right almost 0 up until the 5th round.
Right.
So he was definitely cautious of using his right.
But I must admit, he's getting confident with the left. You know, he didn't him think, oh shit, this left shit might work every now and then. You know, I sized him up. I could throw a hook and a jab. Ain't this a bitch? You know.
He said he was setting them up, just sucking them in. He was setting them up by not fighting for 4 rounds. It set him up perfect. It gave him overconfidence. Beautiful strategy. Beautiful strategy. But honestly, he fucking looked terrible. He looked awful.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. Yeah, he got the knockout. It's all forgiven. He's got the knockout. But what happens when the knockout don't come? He's only gotten worse the last 2 years. He's regressed. Because everybody's like, oh, the Thurman thing. Okay, well, that's 5 fights ago.
Yeah.
And it's progressively got worse. The Spielka fight, people had him down on the cards going into the 10th round when he scored the knockout.
Right.
Beautiful knockout. Unbelievable. Most people have him down 3-1, 4-0 going into the 5th round of this one. It's not a good sign because these aren't the greatest fighters in the world. A guy like Duhaupas gave him trouble at times. Eric Molina buzzed him, got him to the 9th. These are not good fighters. And that's not hate. You know, like, God forbid you say what you actually see in the ring.
Right.
It's not hate. Look, it's like people used to say Klitschko beat everybody because he was bigger than them, so he could just keep him on the end of his jab. Like, as soon as he got in the ring with somebody as big as him, like a Fury, then he was done, right?
Right.
Even a guy like Joshua, who's the size, they're done. Wilder, if it wasn't for his power, he's gonna lose almost every fight because he doesn't have the skill. So it's not hating on it. He looked terrible. He actually looked good against Thurman. He looked good in points, even against
Spielka at times.
Spielka and Areola, even though he broke his hand and tore his bicep. He looked better in those fights than he did in this fight. It's not a good sign. And because he's facing substandard competition, I even say Thurman is now because he's only fought once since that fight. Hasn't fought in like 18 months almost.
But I give him the ring rust. I gotta give him the ring rust. And Thurman, yeah, it's been a long time. The other thing, Washington. If I was Washington, I'd walk away a little bit more confident. I'd be like, you know what? Shit, man, I could have won the belt if I'd have just stuck to the game plan. But I got rocked. Everybody who gets rocked by Wilder normally doesn't work out well.
Well, and let's be honest, the stoppage was quick.
Yeah.
The stoppage was quick because he never really caught him really flush after the knockdown. And then he had that giant windmill back-to-back punch that then when they stopped the fight, you know, his windmill punches, you know when he says, you fighting, you know, you mess with your little nephew and you hold him by the forehead and he can't reach it and he's just windmilling his arms. That's Deontay Wilder style right there.
They stop fight. They're gonna have a thing with stopping his fights early because of his past knockouts. Because I will say he's one of those fighters that be like, look, I don't need him catching you defenseless because your ass might not make it. You know, those are some stoppages that was Wilder hitting you. Yeah, I kind of get that. That's kind of like a Kovalev stoppage, right? Like, Kovalev coming, all right, so fuck this. We're not going to have this on our hands. So, you know.
Now let's get to the after party. Him and Dominic Brazil. I still haven't even seen the video.
I saw a little bit.
Supposedly, let's get the 2 supposed parts. Well, no, there's only really one supposed part. The attack did happen.
Mm-hmm.
That did happen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. The thing that they said triggered it was Brazil sitting either in front or behind Wilder's family during the Wilder fight after his fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "I'll kill you, I'll kill him and his whole family." I can believe that, except he didn't mean, and this is where I think Wilder's brother seemed like he was trying to cover his ass. Not like, "Oh, I'll literally kill you, him and all you." It was like, "Man, I'll kill him in the ring. Like, I'll kill your boy like that, because he's a boxer, right?
Yeah.
Fuck you, you ain't gonna do shit, man. I'll kill him and all you motherfuckers in one night."
See, here's the problem. I blame this whole situation on Brazil for a multitude of reasons. Normally, when fighters get into it, who's normally the instigator, the champion or the challenger? Normally, it's the challenger. If you go to somebody's hometown and you start something, and they gotta come look for you to talk to you, that's because you said some shit that was out of line. Because it was in a hotel lobby when he went to talk to him. Really, if you in your hometown, trust me, if he really wanted to kick your ass, he wouldn't have met you in the hotel lobby. He would have met your ass driving to Waffle House, and when you parked, beat the shit out of you. The other thing is the family part. The only other time I've seen Deontay Wilder even approach somebody is when they talk shit about his daughter. They've said a lot of shit that probably was out of line, but the minute somebody said something about his daughter, all bets was off. Normally his daughter's at the fights, and it's in Alabama. Even if he said it not wholeheartedly, halfway in jest, however you want to, you probably shouldn't have said that shit. Because Wilder ain't gonna take it like that. Like, what? You could say you could kill me, but what the fuck? Okay, we gonna see about this. Now, is it gonna get you to fight? That's what everybody wants to know. Could it get you to fight? Yeah. But where's Brazil from? The Dominican or Puerto Rico?
I don't know where the fuck he's from.
It's just a warning to most people. Don't go to nobody's hometown doing that.
It's from the land of talentless boxers.
But historically, that's how boxers got down. If I want to get a shot at the title, I'm gonna do some shit to get under the champ's skin. People forget about Ali and Liston. People forget about Mitch Green and Mike Tyson. People forget about who did Larry Holmes jump off of the goddamn
I
car
forget
for?
who that was, man.
Yeah. But people forget about when Shane jumped in the ring with Floyd. People forget about Laura cutting into the press conference with Canelo. Normally, that's how I'm gonna get the fight. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start some shit.
Not true. And I'll tell you, I'll throw you one out here.
Okay.
Tyson Fury gets in the ring and calls out.
You put a cokehead. He's a cokehead now.
Yeah, and he had at that point, I guess he still had at least 2 belts, and called out Wilder.
He could have been high at the time.
Wilder didn't go after his ass. I know that.
Yeah, he didn't though.
It does.
He didn't say that type of shit to Wilder
though. I'll hold off judgment. I ain't blaming nobody yet because the story will change 5 or 6 more times.
Yeah. You know what it is? When the real video comes out, because I hate when people come out with videos.
Brazil's from California.
Okay. Well, he should know better.
And his middle name is Angelo, so fuck that. I blame Deontay Wilder. Yeah, I blame Deontay Wilder. It's all Wilder's fault.
Yeah.
Fucking hothead. Fucking Southern guy doesn't even know how to control his temper.
Because
the West Coast guy got it under his skin, knew exactly what he was doing.
You could even break that. Nobody got arrested, huh?
Nah.
Yeah. In Alabama?
Well, they don't care. They're like 2 white dudes hitting each other.
Nah.
As long as there ain't no white people hurt.
No. Look. First of all, he's a boxer. He's not in the Crimson Tide. They would have locked his ass up.
He sold 12,000. He was doing good.
Yeah. But who would you take? You think if it was? Let me see. If it was Derrick Henry or Mark Ingram, Trent Richardson, they would have got off. Boxing, your ass ain't getting off.
No, I'd rest Trent Richardson. He's terrible.
Great, man.
Jarrett Hurd gets the stoppage, wins the IBF title over Tony Harrison, 9 rounds, TKO. Fight went pretty much exactly as I said it was going to go. Harrison
faded.
got on him early, exposed some of his shortcomings, and then faded in, got beat down. I said 8, ended up being 9. You said 7. We were right in the vicinity.
Yeah.
We said, what did I say? What did I say with the? Did I say 5 or did I say 4? Because you went 1/2 round less than me on the Wilder
I think you
fight.
were 5 because I was like
Did I say
4 and a
5?
half.
Yeah, 4.5. So I got the Wilder one right. So I got that one right at 5. Got this one almost right. It was a pretty good day for me. Like I said, Hurd. This is Hurd. The power, the size. He's beating people because of his size, not necessarily because of his skill. But he does have skill. It's just not a high level of skill. But you put that with determination, power, and size. That's a pretty good combination. And flawed. It's gonna be fun.
Kind of like a lesser version of Sean Porter. You know, rough and tumble, a little awkward at times. You know,
Pretty awkward.
you know. So, but Harrison faded. I mean, don't get it wrong. He looked good when he looked good, but then you got to ask him, what is up with your conditioning?
Yeah.
Because the drop off, like
And it wasn't like the output was like so off the charts that he should be tired after like 5 rounds.
Yeah, part of me was thinking, I wonder if Herb broke his ribs or something. Because it was just something that was off. Like, the drop-off was very significant. To the point where because even, you know, like at the end of the knockout when he spit out the mouthpiece, he didn't do that by accident.
Oh, no. That was on purpose.
You're like, fuck this shit. This motherfucker done hit me with something. I can't breathe. I don't know.
He tried to do the old, come on, don't lose it. Jose Luis Castillo.
Oh,
Castillo
shit.
died in a motorcycle accident for Sacramento.
Oh, come on. Diego.
I was say Diego
Chico,
Chavez.
Chico.
Diego Corrales.
Yeah.
That's what Diego Corrales was doing to get his time in that 10th round, you know, getting on spitting the mouth guard out. Like, and then
you got knocked out. No.
every time you do that shit again, I'm calling this fight. I think the referee did the right thing when he spit it out. Like, look, that's just telling the referee, I'm good.
Yeah.
We're good where it's at. Already the talks, right? The talks are already that Hurd's first defense will be Austin Trout. Also called that one as we went down the rankings.
Easy.
Sometime in the fall. Can see that a mile away. Honestly, that's a really good fight for Hurd because if Hurd isn't on his game and can't overwhelm him with his size and power, Austin Trout will teach him a couple lessons. Remember, wasn't Jamal Charlo who fought Austin Trout? And we said the same thing. If he ain't ready for it, Trout pushed his ass the whole way.
And the weird thing about this is this is like a 1-2 puncher.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison gave him some confidence. Like, I could pepper this guy all night if I want to.
You can just stay away from the power. That's the whole thing.
I mean, so that, you know, that works out in some ways in Austin Trout's favor. Now, youth versus experience, hunger versus determination, you know, power versus skill. That's what all of this will wind up being. Because, you know, Herb gonna have to know I'm gonna have to tap that chin, because he gonna jab me all night long if I don't. So, but both fighters can be confident. If that happens, Herb can brush up on his counter punching. That will help him a lot, you know. But if he doesn't, just get ready to catch some lefts and rights.
Mm-hmm. Dominic Brazil did fight, not just in the lobby, but on the undercard against Ngannou.
Yeah, I ain't trying it.
In a pretty fun back and forth, knockdown. Looked like Ngannou. Is that what it is?
Like I said, I ain't trying. I think so.
Was going to be too much for Brazil, but Brazil was tough, man. He was resilient, came back.
He took some vicious body shots.
Yes, he did.
I mean, if you say Ngannou, see, if he was a football player, I'll pronounce it properly. But you know, I'm fucking up.
I don't think it was like Ray Malaluga or anything.
Yeah. Football players with long names and awkward names in America. I got you. Boxers, you're on your own, B. Man, I need an announce. I need John Madden to say it first. But he got off the canvas, took some vicious body shots, took some nice. You saw a lot of heart in both fighters. I mean, if nothing else, they could rematch that fight. Because that could have went either way. He capitalized on the power in the end of that fight, and there were times when both fighters were in trouble. So, like I said, it was a great fight.
Here's his opponent. Here's who I think if they wouldn't run it back, is who Brazil's opponent should be. Because I thought this fight was, and here's the words you'd never thought you'd hear somebody say: a poor man's Dillian White versus Derek Chisora. Kind of felt like that. Like,
Yeah.
not so much skill, but a lot of will and a lot of determination, a lot of heart. How about Brazil and Dillian White? Seems to be like it'd be a fun fight.
Dillian White to beat the shit out of him.
He probably will. That's why I said this was a poor man's version of it.
He beat the
Or
shit
Derek Chisora. Either one. If they don't run it back. It'd be fun.
What was the 5-minute champ? You got it that Joshua knocked out for the title.
Oh.
Martin.
Yeah, Prince Charles Martin.
I mean,
Come out looking like King Harley Race.
he could fight one of the, yeah. He could fight the loser. He could fight with a gunner. I mean that'd be a good test challenge. Tough fight for both of them.
This weekend, the big card. We'll get to that in a second. Of course, is Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman. There are fights, of course. Let's see. We'll start. They're already off of here. I've already lost all the fights. I've already lost everything. Never mind. I don't want to start there though. What I want to start is David Haye, Tony Bellew. A grudge match of all grudge matches. This is some good lead up shit talking though.
Yeah.
I mean, this is some. The fight may not be A level, but the shit talking is A level. I mean, this is some elite shit talking. And even though I'm pretty sure Tony Bellew is going to get stopped at some point, I don't know if it's going to be as easy for David Haye as everybody just assumes it is. I mean, I know he is much bigger and he's roided out of his fucking mind. And that's why he refused VADA testing. That tells you something. Somebody, when this first fight was first announced, right? They put a picture of it, picture of Tony Bellew's body and David Haye's body, and they're like, "Man, Haye gonna kill that boy. Look at this. Just look." That's like, yeah. Who now? Pick out which picture of these guys isn't in VADA testing. It's pretty easy to do, but David Haye is pretty slow now. His hands are fast. He's kind of got that Amir Khan. See, people say, "Oh, Amir Khan's fast." No, he's not. His hands are fast. Feet really aren't that fast. The feet don't nearly match up to hand speed. Where Haye, he's still quick hands, but his movement, man, his foot movement just is slow as shit. And I just think that Bellew's been more active. He knows he has to stay away. I think he can be smart. He's probably a little overconfident in his power, but it'll be fun for however long it lasts.
Honestly, I'm on the opposite. I think Bellew gonna beat the shit out of David Haye.
I hope you're right.
Cause here's the thing. David Haye spent the last 3-4 years getting out of fights. He's talked a lot of shit in the last years, but he's got punked by Klitschko in the fight, which I think took his manhood. He got punked by Haye trying to talk shit to get that fight, which didn't do good for his reputation because Fury already said he ain't gonna fight me. He got punked by Shannon Briggs when he was, "Oh, I'm gonna fight you after this," and when Shannon Briggs came and flipped his little hair like, "Look at you, bitch," and he never did anything. Right now, Haye is a talker, and until he prove it, I'm sorry. I think Bellew is gonna beat the shit out of him. because I think he talks more at this particular point in his career than he actually backs up. And like you said, he is slow as shit now.
He really is.
He comes to the ring. He looks in shape
He
in a
looks
bloated way.
He looks the part, but yeah,
You know, he doesn't look in shape like like he got it all together. He looks in shape in a bloated way. Like, you know, like you said, his hands is fast, but the rest of the body is just not. It doesn't keep up. And Bellew is bloated, but the whole body keeps up. You know.
he's used to being out of shape.
Yeah, you know, he's just like the football players. He'd be like, "You thought you was swole? No, he's just good."
You know what? And I'll be honest. Every now and then, when a guy like myself, who's in his early 40s, it's nice to see a boxer who has a dad bod. You know.
Son, I will kick your ass if you do that shit again. Go cut that goddamn grass.
He is the king of the dad bods. He really is. Because fucking Bellew, he don't look like a boxer. He look like a father.
Look like a PTA dad.
Yeah, he look like a father for taking his kids out to soccer practice. You know.
But you know what? That PTA dad gonna beat the shit out of him.
And he's been on a roll. I mean, you know, he gets the cruiserweight title. He beats.
He beats Creed.
He beat Adonis Creed.
Yeah,
I mean, the motherfucker's on a roll. He's got a part in Creed 2. This one he will lose because it's gonna follow the exact same storyline as Rocky. So Adonis Creed's gonna win this one.
There's no Adrian though. No, you can't do that.
Well, it's what's her name? It's
yeah, but her name is Adrian. So you can't steal that line.
I don't even remember her. All I remember she was like deaf or hearing problem or something like that.
Yeah, but she's cute as shit.
She kind of had that Lisa Bonet back in the 80s kind of vibe to her. Like, I'm out there a little bit. I'm a little bit different.
She's still cute though. She still got a bottle of Philly cheesesteak too.
But that's gonna be fun. The undercard, yes, Paulie Malignaggi on the undercard against Sam Eggington. I hope he loses that fight. That'd be awesome. O'Hara Davies, people were high on that kid, fighting the gatekeeper of the UK at 140 pounds, Derry Matthews, who coming up from 135. I mean, he was a gatekeeper at 135. Derry Matthews is a true gatekeeper, so this is an incumbent on O'Hara Davies, who is
you better win.
Who is definitely flashy but unorthodox, flawed but fun. It should be actually. It's a pretty decent card, actually. Lee Selby's on there. He's on the fourth fight. I mean, the Welsh Mayweather at the fourth fight. I mean, come on now.
Bullshit. He should at least be 2 or 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, he should be 2. Really, he should be 2.
He really
Paulie
should be
3, and O'Hara should be 4.
But you know, it is a good card. I wish I had AWE, Wealth Network. I don't have it no more. It got picked up. I didn't know it got picked up by them. I don't got it, so I got to fucking find a stream for this shit. So that's the part that sucks. What do we got? Yeah. The Showtime, or not Showtime, the CBS card, the PBC. We'll start at the bottom. Andres Fonfara, Chad Dawson. You think Chad's got a chance?
Depends on which Chad shows up. Is it bad Chad or bad Chad? Like,
really bad.
Like bad Chad. If he's like, man, I'm like if Chad Dawson is in the mindset of like, you know what, if I beat from far ass, I'm gonna fight Adonis Stevenson. He's gonna win that fight. If Chad goes up and like, if anything happens that I don't like and I just check out of this fight, you know, then that's bad Chad, and he's not gonna win. And I think he's a better fighter than from far, but that doesn't mean anything because Chad's got to be dialed into a fight, you know. And from far as dialed in, I can guarantee you that.
I think it really is how much chance does Dawson have is based on from far, based on coming back from the knockout loss to Jesus Christ,
Smith?
Joe Smith. What I'm telling you, the brain is not functioning, man. If he lets, and here's one key. This is why I think Chad's got a chance. This is because Dawson could actually start building confidence. And if he's confident, he can be dangerous still. The fact that Fonfara is now with Virgil Hunter tells me that he's not probably going to start as fast. Right. He's going to be more in that wait and see. I want to counter punch, look for my openings. he really hasn't been that effective for other fighters. He was terrible for Angulo. He was terrible for Mares. He's probably not even a good fit for Fonfara, man. I just that's where I'm like, I think Dawson's got an outside shot at this one, just because if he does start to follow Virgil's advice, he's going to start slow.
I think Virgil's a good trainer, but I think the fighters that go to Virgil, there are a lot of offensive fighters went to Virgil, and that's why you see the down. They're not defensive. They don't. So they learned some things, but it took away from their game, and that's part of the reason. From far as like, he's not a defensive fighter, anyways. So, you can see it like, and I get it. Like, you want to go learn some defense, and then you might move on and then implement that in your game because the offense is yours. But I think, like, Virgil is the reverse of Freddie Roach.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. And
Yeah.
all of those fighters that we named probably would have been better going to Freddie than they would have Virgil.
Right, because Virgil like, fuck it, go, just go. You don't even worry about the defense, just go. As long as you keep punching, they won't be able to punch back. But if you get, say Farmer, I think Farmer would work good if he ever went somewhere else because he's a slicker boxer and he worked on his defense. I think that makes more sense, a fighter like him. But I don't think a lot of these offensive fighters, I don't think it works out well. Because they got to remember, Andre Ward is not really an offensive fighter. So...
He's definitely not an offensive fighter. He don't throw very many punches, man.
So, I just think it's a,
go ahead.
No, I don't know.
Ergus and Lubin on the undercard. WBC eliminator, so I guess for Jermel's title. They've got him lined up, primed, ready. He should dominate. But I tell you right now, if he goes up against Jermel, and Jermel to me is the lesser of the two Charlos, it's still it would be too big of a jump, man. I don't think Lubin's ready for that, man. If that's what's next after this fight, I don't know. I need to see a lot more growth from Lubin. I mean, explosive, yes, but I need to see more facets of the game.
I think we've said this a few times. That group, the Charlo brothers and Lara, like an underrated group. Because as much as, like, I like Lubin, very entertaining. But when you, the Charlo brothers and Lara are just people that most people just don't really want a part of. The best thing about the Charlos in the 154 division was that Jermal left. You know what I'm saying? Is that Jermel? No, Jamal. That he left. Because most people in that division wasn't going to win shit. Because they cannon fodder. So, anybody who fights Jermel, you 9 times out of 10 you fucked. Because just because he doesn't have the power of his brother doesn't mean he won't kick your ass. He's just gonna kick your ass over an extended period of time. I mean, he showed me enough against that Gabe Rosado fight. Like, he's not gonna let you run over him.
The main event, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman. This is actually, you hear it. I'd say it's close to 50-50 on how people are saying who's going to win this fight. Who do you got, man? Who do you got, why, and when?
Man, this is a hard fight to pick. I wound up going with Thurman. Here's the reason. Over the last 3-4 years, I think Thurman has stayed closer to the tough competition in the fire than Garcia has. That's the only reason. But the other thing about it is you can't count Garcia out because he does have a reputation for showing up when he needs to. So it wouldn't be far-fetched to say he comes in and fights his ass off. But it's just that fight against Peterson. You know, that's a whole different fight from looking at the range from Matisse to Peterson's fight. It's like, bro, you lacking right now. And with Thurman, you look at, you know, what, from that time he fought Porter, Collazo. He fought like Guerrero and somebody else.
Diego Chavez.
Yeah, I mean, he had some compared to Garcia's competition. Because we all just gonna throw him under the bus for the soccer fight.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got it.
Go ahead, man. So when do you think? Like, it's gonna go 12?
Yeah, I don't think they're knocking nobody out.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be any knockouts. And you know, people have been talking about, you know, Thurman's been hurt a few times. Yeah, he's gotten stunned a few times, and even a guy like Garcia could stun him. But I think people might live off of that during this fight because I don't see Garcia having. I don't really see him having any advantage, other than he can probably. I don't think he's a bigger puncher, and I think it's pretty obvious he's not a bigger puncher than Thurman, but he could probably hurt Thurman more than Thurman can hurt him. Because one thing Danny can do is he can take his shot. He took Matisse shots early on. Matisse fucking swarmed him them first 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah.
He was never really in trouble. I mean, he was in trouble of losing a fight, but never as far as being hurt. So I don't know if Thurman is going to hurt him. But since the Matisse fight, Mauricio Herrera, he lost. The Salka fight, just terrible. Then the Peterson fight, he lost. But then the Guerrero, was it the Guerrero fight? No, Malignaggi. Whatever. Malignaggi is past it. Guerrero, he didn't look that good against him. He should have won that fight. Like, we know, I scored. I was like, when I got done with that fight, I was like, how the fuck did I have this to draw? You know, it was a Garcia. It was a Garcia fight. He deserved to win that fight. But not by a lot. That was a 7-5 fight.
Yeah,
It's not like he was very impressive. Then you got Samuel Vargas. I mean, it's not impressive. And then the names that were decent, he probably lost those fights. So I'm just going to go off of that and say that I think Thurman wins this fight and wins it kind of handily, 8-4. I think Garcia will have moments, but I just don't think he's big enough. I don't think he hits hard enough. And even if he gets them, you know, like Soto Karass got to
that was the other fight I was thinking about.
Soto Karass got to Thurman, but shit, Thurman withstood it, and Soto Karass can fucking bang, and everybody knows Soto Karass can bang. Yeah. Hits way harder than a
lot of motherfuckers.
No, it hits way harder than fucking Danny Garcia. No doubt about that. I say he's gonna win 8-4, man. It's a Danny Garcia fight, so give me Danny Garcia by no. I'll say that the judges keep it on par, man.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna win 8-4.
I'm pretty much 8-4 too, because I mean, if he can get Thurman to like hook with a hooker, then it raises his chances. But I just think the competition level of recent, because it would be different. Even the fact that Thurman hasn't fought as actively I weigh that against the competition. It's like, well, you don't technically fight really nobody either, because now you stepping in the ring with a dog. And last time he fought a dog for real.
And I'll tell you where I think some of that ring rust for Thurman is a little overblown, because actually Thurman doesn't want to fight often. He's shown that. He literally said it after the fight with Porter. Like, this is probably it for me for the rest of the year, right? So this is the. I don't think it's the smartest path, but I think that's the path he wants to do. He doesn't want to fight that often. You know, when you're a guy, say like Sean Porter, who's dying to fight and can't get a fucking fight, that's when I think it gets to you, and then you're losing your edge. You know, some of that ring rust is your edge that you've lost. You know, that rhythm, but for whatever reason, that's a rhythm that he's into. It's kind of like the Floyd from September to May. That's a long layoff. But that was his mentality. This is how I'm going to do it. And he was, for him, he was never as sharp as he was in the September fight because it was such a quicker turnaround. But the ring rust wasn't as noticeable.
His kind of like when he came back out of retirement that time against Marquez. You knew then. I'm like, well, shit, I could take off as long as I feel like it. You know, that's what kicked in. I think even with Thurman in this particular fight, he can fight better going backwards. He could change tactics better. You know, you don't. He's better at adjusting than Danny. Because with Danny, what you see is what you get. You've never really seen Danny do anything different. You know.
I think it's a bad combination. You usually don't see this. The naturally bigger guy is the naturally faster guy. You generally don't see that. It's usually the opposite. The smaller guy is usually the quicker guy. You know, that's why Brook looks so fast against Triple G. Like, he's just a superior athlete. So when as a smaller weight, he's going to be quicker. You kind of get like that. Like Mayweather was always quicker than the bigger guys he fought. Manning was always way faster than the bigger guys he fought. But it's rare that the guy is a bigger guy and is faster than you. It's just I don't see very many advantages for Danny Garcia, and maybe it's the bias towards him. I don't know. I don't think it is.
No, he is a fast starter. I give him that. But the problem is, Thurman ain't really. You know, he's cognizant of momentum. Like I get it. Like, you know, at this particular point, I like Thurman more than Garcia just because of the fire. I don't even think at this point, and we were people who were high on Garcia for a while until he just started just taking the easy way out. Mm-hmm. And the easy way out catches up with you. I'm just sorry, it just catches up with you.
Well, I did go out, like I said I was going to the Chavez Canelo presser. Damn sure wasn't going to wait in that motherfucking line. Did I? Man, I swear I underestimated the magnitude of this fight. You know, I thought it was a decent fight. It would draw some ratings, maybe 550,000, somewhere around there. I've adjusted that. I say 750. They'll announce close to 1 million. But 750, I think, is probably where they're going to start at. Maybe 800 you could get to, because if you guys could see the line at Minute Maid Park. Now, they had it in the front part of Minute Maid Park. There's a little lobby, and it's not very big. And I think that they thought that was going to be plenty of room, and they were wrong, because the line wrapped halfway around Minute Maid Park, and it wasn't single file line. And I put the video up of the line, and that was 40 minutes into it. They'd already been letting people in. They let people in from 12 to 1 for the press conference. That was 40 minutes later that it was still halfway around Minute Maid Park.
Tell them what day of the week that was.
And that was a Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock, or between 12 and 1. Because we even talked to other people there like, I didn't think it's going to be like this. They're like, man, it's Thursday. People should be working. I tell you right now, there was a lot of lawns not getting cut on last Thursday in Houston.
I didn't say it.
I said that shit. And if ever the stereotype of how many Mexicans can you fit into a car or a building, they pushed capacity on Friday or Thursday.
Again, I didn't say it.
Because there was probably 4,000 to 5,000 people. And I can't even imagine how many people didn't get in time to see the press conference. They were there until 4 o'clock signing autographs on. That was the thing, is like, I knew I wasn't going there because I don't want people pressing up on me. I'm too fucking old for that shit. I don't need to be getting in there. I don't want nobody's autograph. I'm not a big fan of Canelo. I'm not a big fan of Chavez Jr. I wanted to go, hey, it's free. It's an event. Let me go see it. It was crazy.
Here's what I took from the video. I just kept this to myself. He showed me the video. I was just looking. Here's what I took from it. You know something's up when Thursday, middle of the week, and the long ass line. But here's the thing, it wasn't a shitload of groupies.
Ooh.
So for all you people who know about Texas and Houston, there's some fine ass women out here. So to have millionaires in a building and a line halfway around a baseball stadium and it not really be a shitload of groupies, that says a lot. Think about it. The All-Star game, they got groupies and prostitutes coming from everywhere. Some of them live here.
The Super Bowl was just here. We saw
Right. I mean, prostitution and groupies went through the roof. That line was like, people like, you know what, I ain't going to work today.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Fuck that, I'm going to the... So, that tells you, they're about to vote with their pockets.
Mm. I honored them, though, you know, my heritage. So we went and had Mexican food instead. Me and my wife actually went and had Mexican food afterwards. But I really did. I underestimated it, man. And it's simple. It breaks down the line. Because 90% of the people there are Mexican-American. They were all Canelo fans. The Mexicans in Mexico, they break to the side of Chavez. But so we were... We're in Texas and not in South Texas. If we were in South Texas, it would have probably been 50-50. But no, you know, this far East Texas, I'm telling you, I saw one person there that was because they had a poster of them, like a big giant cutout.
Yeah.
And I saw one lady like posing with the Chavez Jr. part of it.
Wow.
Everybody else was Canelo. It was all Canelo hats, Canelo shirts.
And I'm gonna be the.
And he got cussed out too. I mean,
yeah,
he got cussed out in the press conference by the fans.
I'm gonna be the dark horse and say this. I saw a Chavez clip. He was talking. I forget who he was talking to, but he was like, you know, they did the face off with Kellerman, and he says, I got him mad because I told him I think I'm gonna knock you out in the 8th. Here's the thing. If that quitting motherfucker says he gonna knock you out and he's confident, that's a problem. You supposed to crush his... First of all, if the weight didn't crush his confidence, and the crowds are not crushing his confidence, and he's still like, yeah, you know, I'm going to put on my pink drawers and I'm going to knock you out in the 8th. You got a fucking problem on your hands. I would seriously start training extra hard because I'm like, wait a minute, this motherfucker think he can win.
There's something about pride, man.
Yeah.
I think they honestly, I think they have finally triggered the Mexican pride in Chavez Jr. And well, we'll get to the breakdown of it, but when the time comes for the fight, but
I'm taking Chavez Jr.
It's
right
not going to be as easy as people think. That's for damn sure. And Chavez Jr., he doesn't look to be that out of shape, man. People say he looked about 185. Okay, so why he live 185? We're 3 months away from the fight. Well, I guess we're closer to 2 months away from the fight. But still, if he's only got to lose, say he's only got to lose about 20 pounds in the next couple months for the fight, I think he's right on pace then. And the fact that he just fought and had to make 168. And Memo said he's going to get him there, so we know he's going to get that, goddammit.
Just the idea that he doesn't have this... Normally at this time of year, this close to a fight, you can see the quitter in him. You see that he like something off with this motherfucker. Like just something like look at him. He running. He ain't looking. He not looking like the same thing I was talking about Chad Dawson. He when he looks like he's engaged, that's a different person. Cause Chavez Jr. for the last 2-3 years, he just I'm just here. Fuck this shit. I mean, but right now it's like, you know, I could actually win this fight and get paid and get another fight. I'm going to actually go running today. That's a different animal. And I think, and I hate to say this, but I think this has a lot to do with Sergio Martinez. Because I think this is the fight that could actually say, you know what? I felt like I could have won against Sergio if I fought him again. But I got my ass whipped for 11 rounds in a row. So, you know, because in actuality, Sergio is kind of, not necessarily weight-wise, is in Canelo's ballpark. Because Canelo don't really want to be a middleweight, and he don't necessarily want to be a super welterweight. Sergio was kind of that mold. And you know, Chavez, I could have knocked that motherfucker out if I wanted to. If I just I would have stopped playing. So he's probably looking at Canelo the same way. Yeah, you're a strong puncher. You're a big dude, but I'm bigger than you. and your feet is just as slow as my feet, really, when it comes down to it. I think, I really think Canelo's better with the defensive skill than people give him credit for, because he's smoother with his feet. But he's not fast with his feet. But he's smooth. He can peep shit. He's got real good anticipation. But classic, who's the better body puncher? This is the question about this fight. And I would take a Chavez over Alvarez in learning how to body punch. I'm just saying. That is the one thing that Junior knows actually how to do. The one thing his dad was like, look, motherfucker, if you gonna be a Chavez, you better know to throw these shots right here. He got that double hook to the body down pat.
Yes, he does.
But Canelo, I stop fucking with him. I swear to God, if I was you, I stop playing mind games. Make him quit. Make him quit before the fight.
Yeah, he's a guy you don't want to get any confidence.
No.
Because at his best, and like I said, I'll get more into it as we get closer to the fight, but at his best, he handled Andy Lee, who was a pretty decent middleweight, who people were like, I take Andy Lee versus Golovkin. Remember they were saying that? So, at his best, he's that level where he's better than Andy Lee, and people like he was way bigger than him. Okay, maybe he was bigger than him. Maybe he is really a true 168 guy. Is really what he is. But remember when he went up to Fanfare at 175, he looked tiny. He's not a light heavyweight.
Right.
So he's probably a tweener between 60 and 68. He's huge for a 68, but on the average size for a big guy for 60, but average for 68. He's really not that big of a guy. He doesn't carry a lot of weight. He's really lean and long. He's just.
That's why it's scary to me, because did they have a weight limitation after the weigh-in?
No rehydration clause.
So that motherfucker coming to the ring, literally 20 pounds heavier.
But I would say that there's probably a good chance Canelo comes in at least 175 night of the fight.
That ain't gonna work good for him, though.
I'm just saying he probably is going to be somewhere around there. People thought that's where he was against Amir Khan.
Yeah.
So he's a thick dude. People always use this excuse. Well, he's only 5'9". Motherfucker, it's not about how tall somebody is. Body frames are different. Mike Tyson was fucking 5'10", 5'11", carried 220 solidly. Chavez Jr. 6 foot. They're not the same body size. I don't understand why people get so caught up in how tall somebody is. Like, that has nothing to do with it. Canelo's not a big guy as far as height, but he's a thick, wide back, big leg guy.
He's a running back built motherfucker.
That's what he is. It's like I'm like 5'7.5", and at my skinniest, I mean, if I drained my fucking self all the way down, even in high school, I was 165 pounds. That's just my body frame. I carry 185 about. If I'm in real good shape, 185, I carry that well, easy. Close to 190. That's just my body size. That's just how I'm built. People are built different.
It's going to be all set on the weigh-in. Because, I mean, remember we had that conversation with Canelo in the Mayweather fight. I was like, from this point on, I think weight is going to be Canelo's game.
Yeah.
And it really hit ahead when I saw him fight Angulo. Because Angulo looked fucking horrible in that weigh-in. He looked like he killed himself to get there.
And then Canelo missed the weight.
Right. And, with Khan, that was a weight issue. Everybody has been a weight thing.
Ever since, yeah.
But
except for his fight against Smith at 154.
Yeah. Because I ain't got to worry about this motherfucker right here. I don't have to worry about him. But this is just this will actually be the first time he fights an opponent that's bigger than him.
Yeah, truly bigger than, yeah. Absolutely.
And I think this is the mental challenge of it.
Yeah.
Because what if his shots... Like, what if 5 rounds in, Chavez like, yeah, I could take that. That's a problem. Everybody else has been able to, like, this motherfucker hit hard. But you ain't hitting Amir Khan this time. You ain't hitting a drain. Like, think about it. He couldn't hurt a drained Angulo. So do you really? So, and Chavez is, literally way bigger than Angulo. So can he hurt Chavez?
The fight's all based on confidence and shape. If he's got confidence and he's in shape, he's going to be trouble just because of the size.
Yeah.
And the power. And people say, well, he's fighting Chavez Jr. to learn, to face bigger guys for Golovkin. He's bigger than Golovkin. That's why I don't understand that argument. I don't understand why people say that. Like, this isn't going to help you none. You're bigger than Golovkin. You walk around bigger than Golovkin. You weigh in night of the fight bigger than Golovkin, even though he fights at 160 and you fight at 155. You're still walking down to the ring at like 175, where Golovkin's walking in at about 168 to 170 fully clothed. It's like, no, you're not. I don't. It's an odd move.
This is a great money tactical gamble.
Oh, absolutely, they're going to make money, man. Trust me. What I saw, I was like, ooh, yeah, they knew what Oscar knew what he was doing as far as money making. That's for sure.
But as far as a fight, I'm thinking they thought they was gonna get the quitter.
Yeah.
And right now, it don't look like they got the quitter.
And you know how they're saying like the flat fee with Triple G, and we're getting close. Let's wait until these numbers come in, because if these numbers come in like I think they're going to come in, those negotiations are going to take a fucking step back, because they're going to be like, hold on, I got to break it down 60-40 with you, or 65-35, when you're only selling 100,000 and I'm selling 700, 800,000. This is going to throw a monkey wrench in it, and I'm not happy about it, because
remember
the best thing for him to do is to not. Yeah,
I predicted that there's going to be upsets for these super fights. The way this shit is looking,
I didn't think so as much, but you never know. You never know. All right, let's cut it off there. Hey, you can follow the show, Cheap Seats Boxing, at Cheap Seats Box. You can email the show, cheapseatsboxing@gmail.com. Questions, comments, anything like that. Tell me I'm full of shit. I don't give a fuck what you say. I'll respond anyway.
Tell me I'm full of shit, I'm going to cry.
Yeah, I might cry. But you know what? You won't even see it, because I'll be crying into my keyboard. Patreon.com/cheapseatsbox. You guys want to donate? Hey, do me a favor, guys. Come on, one of you guys. God, there's thousands and thousands of listeners every week, and just by the fact of how many people follow on Twitter, and it's not a ton. I know you guys got your goddamn iPhones. So iTunes, rate and review, be the next unofficial sponsor. Help us out, man. Yes, sir.
And we did forget Heather Hardy versus Edna Kiss.
I didn't really forget it. I just like
we ain't gonna be chauvinistic over here. Well, we can't. We don't know too much about y'all, but your name is in the mix now. Gotcha.
A former champ making a return to boxing.
Okay.
After she lost in the UFC, so we'll see.
Oh shit! Okay, now that makes sense. Yeah. All right. Wait a minute. That's not.
That's her, isn't it?
No. Well.
Yeah.
But I gotta double check.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, right?
I got to double check.
Clarissa Shields fighting in next week. Headlining.
I think so.
Yeah.
See, now you got to double check. That's on. Yeah,
that could be me. I could be all fucked up in the head. But hey, do me a favor on iTunes, rate and review, please. You could be the next unofficial sponsor. We will shout you out. That's how we do. And all it does is keep the show more noticeable. So when people search boxing on all the platforms, especially iTunes, it keeps us up at the top. JP, anything else, man?
This is where the fighters fight and the fans commentate.
And we do it just like you from the cheap seats, because we ain't buying no tickets, goddammit. Peace.
Again, I'll be the next heavyweight champion. Call me crazy, but no one can fade me. I'm the product of the projects, lost and crazy.